Captain Melissa McClellan, she is with the Oakland County Sheriff's Department and has recently been named the first female captain at the Oakland County Sheriff's Department. Thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate having you on the MegaCast.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I am doing wonderful on this beautiful Thursday.
I know. Sadly, it's not Friday like I thought it was this morning, but we'll still take a Thursday with sunshine, right?
Absolutely. We don't have many more days like this.
I know. Congratulations on your promotion.
Why, thank you. I appreciate it.
And while I'm happy to say congratulations, I'm still kind of like, I can't believe that this is 2020 and they are just recently naming the first female captain. That says so much about you and your dedication to the Sheriff's Department and the people of Oakland County.
You know, I appreciate that, and it's been a very humbling experience because I know there's been quite a while, like I say, 31 years for me, and I tell you, I'm still pinching myself a little bit, but I'm very honored to hold this title, and I do understand the importance of it all.
And Captain, it's got to be a hard time for you to be in this area. You're taking on this new responsibility in a time where across the nation there's been so much backlash about our law enforcement officers and our law enforcement divisions. What do you want the general public to know about what you and all of your coworkers do day in and day out?
It is important for the nation to know that law enforcement officers who take that oath, they want to perform their job to the best of their abilities. They want to ensure that they are following the procedures, the laws. They don't want any chaos or any mistrust. For the most part, there's been calls for reforms, and the leaders are not against any type of reforms. As a matter of fact, they encourage any type of increased training and increased abilities to actually hold law enforcement accountable. For the most part, agencies across this nation have policies in place, and they do hold people accountable. And we want the community to understand that they're an integral part of how we do our job and perform. And we do not want to approach those as if there's mistrust in law enforcement, because we do not want to work along with someone who brings any type of mistrust to the badge. So those are the type of things that we would love to get across to law enforcement, is that for the most part, we do have officers out here performing their jobs to the best of their abilities, and they are proponents of any type of increased training or law enforcement policies that would help make their jobs a lot easier.
31 years on the job for you. You started as a civilian clerk. How has this job changed through the years since you've been with the department?
Well, I tell you, there's quite a bit of different aspects in reference to training and changes. You know how they say the more things change, the more they stay the same? For the foundation of law enforcement, there's not been much change. However, the way we carry out our jobs, we still protect citizens. We still are very much into care and custody. There's been quite a few technology changes that have met. You have laws that have changed. So for the basic foundations of law enforcement, it remains the same. We're here to protect that badge. We're here to carry out our jobs to the best of our abilities. We are now faced with technology where things are right front and center and of the immediate. And that's the response a lot of times where you may see the community. For instance, you have your cell phones now. You have things that are just so fast-paced with technology. So those different aspects is where I see there's been a lot of different changes that has happened over the years.
What's
But
it
for the
been
most
like?
part,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but for the most part, we have had training, various ongoing training that has maintained. We keep up with any type of new procedures that come out. In aspects of any changes, I would have to say the way that law enforcement jobs are carried out, there's more community involvement and there's more, I would say, more appearances where the law enforcement aspect is more out in the community. There's more visibility to each aspect that a law enforcement and an officer carries out their roles.
And how important do you think that is to the department and to law enforcement to show how much they are committed to the community and being more involved with the community?
That is a very important aspect of how law enforcement carries out their roles. You want to ensure that there's transparency, first of all. Law enforcement agencies and the communities, they want to see that the orders are carried out, the lawful manners, the police roles are carried out in a very honest, transparent manner. And that's what's important, that the community wants to see the transparency of it all. So in that aspect, they want to make sure that the training is kept up. They want to ensure that they are carrying out to the best of their abilities these roles as lawful and behind their badge and oath.
Captain Melissa McClellan with us. She is from the Oakland County Sheriff's Department, joining us today on the MegaCast. She was recently named the first female captain at the Oakland County Sheriff's Office, and she's with us today as we're joined on a variety of different media outlets, including the Facebook page of the Kego Harbor Police Department. So, Captain McClellan, as you transition into this new role and as you're communicating with County Sheriff Bouchard and others in the department and other law enforcement agencies, how important has communication been with the public as we continue to experience these protests throughout the state, throughout the local area, on a national level, and discussions about police roles in communities and police actions are continuing to be in the public discourse on a political level and on a procedural level?
I think that the communication with the public is key because you want to make sure that, first of all, there's a lot of information that goes across, as you know, that sometimes it's inaccurate. And what that does sometimes is kind of fuel a lot of the responses of the community. And that's something you definitely do not want out in your community, especially when you're patrolling areas and you're trying to develop a better relationship with your community. So as far as information, you want to make sure that you're having this accurate and reliable information out. So in today's world where there's again, I would say a lot of instantaneous information that has the ability to sometimes be, once it's out in print and once it's out in, say, for instance, across the networks and across the social media sites, sometimes people take that to fact. And so it's important to make sure that the fact is actually out there as quick as possible, while also making sure that you're not interrupting any investigations, because it's unfortunate, but that's what the community is responding to. And sometimes it may heighten a situation, and sometimes it may not. But it's important to make sure that accurate information is placed out as quick as possible in order to not have those gaps filled in with information that's not factual.
Yep, we're all that's the one thing with video right now it's so accessible and it's posted on social media within seconds, and people don't understand the full concept as to what happened. I could imagine that makes the job of law enforcement that much harder as well. We're speaking with Captain Melissa McClellan with us on the Oakland County Mega Cast. She's from the Sheriff's Department here in Oakland County, and we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to carve out a little bit of time to speak with us. She is the first female captain at the Oakland County Sheriff's Department, and I'm wondering, in that role, what do you want other females to know who may be considering going into law enforcement? Because as females, not that males and fathers don't have a lot of pressure, but there seems to be more pressure on so many females that, they wonder, can you have a family, and how do you juggle the family life with single life and your law enforcement life as well? What advice do you give to other females thinking about going into law enforcement?
The advice I would give any female that's considering going into law enforcement is to, first of all, you always want to weigh your options. It's not something that if that's something that you would like to do, attempt to do that. Go out and seek these roles, because you are a female should not hinder or discourage you in any aspect. Years ago, when I first started here, for instance, there's been so many different changes, and here in the Sheriff's Office, one that I'm very proud of is that we've made it easier for women to actually work into these professions. When I first started here in '89, for instance, women here in the Sheriff's Office, prior to our current administration, and because it was the makeup of the Sheriff's Office, where women were only work with, let's say, for instance, female prisoners. And I believe it was around 93, 94 that we were able to work in a non-gender-based fashion. So I would say there's been so many different advancements as far as barriers that's been broken down for women. So I would encourage any woman who is seeking law enforcement, whether it's fire department, to meet those needs, to go out and seek these opportunities. Do not allow your size become a factor. Do not allow your gender to become a factor, because legally I'm I'd say about 4'11", but I have never once felt 4'11". When people ask me my size, I always say 6'1", because that is how I see myself. And as a woman, you need to see yourself as able and have the ability to carry out the role. And then you have to have confidence in yourself. And that's what I would encourage any woman out there, is to seek these roles.
Wow, 31 years with the department. I bet you have some stories to tell. What's been the most rewarding part of this position for you?
The most rewarding part has been, there's been several points. One is not having any deterrences for wanting to take the next challenge. When I started off as a clerk, I didn't come into the job wanting to be a police officer. And I tell a lot of incoming candidates, a lot of incoming new recruits, I didn't start off wanting to be a police officer. I was just looking for a job. The sheriff's office has so many different opportunities for growth that no matter what I sought, I was given an opportunity and was not held back from it. So those are some of the things that I can take forward, and I often share with other women, with other young candidates coming in, whether they have experience with coming in with the police academy or whether they have no experience. If they feel or if they want doors open for them, do not be afraid to seek these challenges. Do not be afraid to take the next opportunity. It is when you limit yourself and you do not feel that you can apply for something, it's when you won't do it. So I would not be where I was today, taking the next opportunity, if it was not for an agency who had open doors and allowed those opportunities for growth. So that's definitely what I would take forward. I encourage people all the time, if you want to do something, you put in for it. Take these opportunities. When you are given a task, complete the task. Take the task.
Captain, those are great words to live by and great advice for everyone out there, not just those in law enforcement. We want to say thank you so much for taking a little bit of your time today. I know you're extremely busy to share with us your story. Congratulations again on the promotion. And thank you again for your commitment to the people of Oakland County and all of us here. We so appreciate it.
I thank you so much, and thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.